All right, guys, what is up? Dirty Mike and Cobbs Creek Beef with 4th and 26 Philly Sports back with a video that we were really hoping that we were going to make. Tonight at around 7 o'clock, it was confirmed that Joel Embiid is the NBA MVP for 2023. So, first off, congratulations to our boy Joel Embiid. It's absolutely well deserved. We could definitely make a case that he deserved it last year as well. But Jokic has been playing out of his mind the last couple of years, and that almost kind of hurts him because you kind of start to expect those numbers. Kind of something similar to with Giannis. Giannis would put up really big numbers to the point to where they're pretty much MVP worthy every year. But because he does it so frequently, it kind of just blends into the background. But Joel had an absolutely monster year this year, putting up 33 points, Doc, 10.2 rebounds, and 4 assists while shooting 55%. It was just an absolutely fantastic year, and I want to give you a chance to say what you want to say about it.
Foods, from where he's come from to
Mm.
what he's achieved now, it's massive. I think that after 3 years, some voter fatigue might have set in, like we had discussed pre-launch of this podcast specifically. But he deserved it. Let's be honest. That 59-point game he had against the Jazz
Yeah.
back in November was just icing on the cake. Foods. He had that other game against Boston where he scored over 50 or something like
Yeah,
that.
he
That
scored
was that
three
was just a
games.
month ago. Yeah,
He
yeah,
scored three
exactly.
games. He scored three over 50 this year, and the last one I think was the one that really
Yeah,
cemented it
it
because
was like a
Jokic.
month. It was a month ago.
Yeah, Jokic was out for a few games. I remember there was talk that Embiid lost the race when him and the Nuggets, when the Sixers played the Nuggets about a month ago, and Embiid didn't play. And we talked about that, and a lot of people were
Yeah.
saying, well, that's going to put Jokic ahead in the MVP race. And then Jokic ended up missing like 3 or 4 games, and Embiid put up that 52-point game. I'm trying to remember who they played, but that was the game I think that really sealed it for him. And ultimately, it wasn't as close of a race as a lot of us thought it was going to be. He got 3/4 of the first place votes, so he definitely
Yeah.
pulled ahead at the end of the season. But it wasn't a monster like unanimous decision, but it was he definitely was ahead of those guys when the
Well,
final votes came out.
because he could have joined the heights of Iverson,
Yes.
Doc, Moses. I mean, all these guys got their got their MVPs. Half of them got championships in that same year. Foods.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
a good
never
sign.
know. You
Yeah.
never know, buddy.
Well, the way it's shaken out, the Boston, if we can get past Boston, I think we have a legitimate shot to, get past the Heat or New York. New York won tonight to even the series up. Jimmy Butler missed it. He's hurt. But
I
I
saw
definitely
it.
don't want to take the attention away from Embiid and what he
Mm-hmm.
did. It was great to see him finally do it. And hopefully this will maybe give him that springboard to maybe get back a little bit early. We stole one last night in Boston last night that
Mm-hmm.
nobody, except for you called it. I will tell you,
No,
I was
thank
talking
you.
with you early in the day, and I had my doubts. I didn't think we were going to win it, to be honest with you. I didn't think we could win it without Embiid. And you said to me, watch, Doc, we're going to steal this game. And you were right. What did you see?
Well, I think like we just discussed this. Were the Celtics overlooking us, or did we overachieve? Now I know Harden went off. He scored 45 points. He
Yeah.
was amazing. But there's also I looked at a little research. He's the sixth player in 3 different franchises to score over 40 points in the playoffs. So it's
Wow.
not unheard of. He
No,
just went off,
yeah,
which was great.
he was talking about it. He has the capability any night to have a game like that, but that hasn't been the role that he was asked to do in Philly.
Right.
He's a supporting player to Embiid, and he's a facilitator of the ball. That's why he led the league in assists, and he'll get you that 20 to 24 points a game. But when needed. And we needed every single one of those points last night, including that 3-pointer that was just beautiful. That step back three with 8 seconds left, just to seal the win. We really missed Embiid last night with a rim protector. We were just talking about it
Yeah,
that
you were
they
saying
scored
in
like 60 points in the paint, and
the first half, right?
Yeah, what was happening was, they shot over 70% in the first half, and what kept happening is they were driving to the basket so easily and getting so many uncontested layups that, all the Sixers ended up just converging in the paint whenever Tatum would drive, and then they would just kick it out for an open three-pointer. And you
So, well,
know,
that's good then, because that means Doc did some good adjustments in the second
he
half.
did because they only gave up, I think, 49 points in the second half, and they gave up, I think, 66 in the first half. So,
Right. The
um,
fourth quarter again, Foods.
yeah, yeah, that's a big thing that we were talking about a lot on the show. The third quarter was really what was killing the Sixers for a while this season. They would just
Mm-hmm.
have some sort of lapse after halftime and dig themselves a hole, and they didn't do that last night. They used the third quarter to stay in the game and not
Yeah,
let
they did.
Boston pull too far ahead and put themselves in a position to win it in the last minute. That's all you can ask, is to be within a couple possessions within the last couple minutes to have a chance. And they came up big last night. Paul Reed hit those 4 big free throws at the end of the game to
Yeah.
ice it.
That was
He
huge, dude. The free, because I thought I was actually freaking out a little with the free throws because Embiid's our best free throw shooter. But
he didn't touch
Maxi
the
was
rim.
looking good.
He
Yeah,
didn't touch the rim
everybody
once,
played a role,
Paulie. Yeah,
dude.
everyone played
Everybody
the
played their
role.
role.
I don't think the Sixers would have been able to hang with the Celtics and would have got too far down last night if Melton didn't have the big first half that he had
Looked
last
great.
night.
He looked great.
He
Yeah.
was fantastic. I think he hit like 4 3-pointers and maybe 5 even, but he did great, especially in the first half. He wasn't as big in the second half, but he kept the Sixers in it, because when a team shoots 72% on you in the first half and you're only trailing by 3 at halftime, that's got to be just completely discouraging to them. Like, what the fuck else do we need to do to put this team away? When
Mm-hmm.
you have a team scoring that much and that frequently, you expect to be down by 15 points, and it easily could have been.
Well, I think you saw that in Tatum's face. He was getting exasperated. You could see him working. They were working hard. I actually, now that I think about it, I think it was more the Sixers hustling than the Celtics overlooking us, because they just finished their series that went
Yeah,
to 6 games. They only had 3 days rest where we had 9.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And then, of course, today being the day that Embiid is declared MVP up in Boston,
yeah.
that's great for them. If we can steal game 2, oh my God. Remember, we're the only undefeated team in the
We
playoffs
are, we
so
are,
far.
we are the only ones. We are 5-0, and if you told me before the series started that we would get a split in Boston, I would 1,000,000% take it. So right now we're playing with house money.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if we lose, it's
Precisely.
really not that big of a deal, because most people probably expected us to get swept up in Boston, especially without Embiid. So the fact that we could even steal one up there, we're playing
Mm-hmm.
with house money. We got nothing to lose. All the pressure is on the Celtics at this point. Because
It's,
if we lose, it's like, all right, we still got our one game up there. But if Boston loses too, you get the brooms ready, possibly.
cheers. I mean, it's good. It's
It's a
a home.
possibility.
It's switched to our home court already, so we've already got the ball in our court, basically. Pun
Yeah,
aside. But I mean, I also saw this, knowing that the Celtics, I think that game yesterday, they were favored by 10 plus points. This is like the 6th or 7th time this season that they've blown 10-point favorite games to another team,
you
which
know
is
what?
fine with me.
The Celtics have played down to their competition all
Yeah,
year long, and
sort
I
of.
think
Yeah,
I think I saw some stat that they were really bad against teams that there was a double-digit point spread. I don't know what the
something
point
like
spread
that.
was.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was the
I don't know.
one.
I don't think it was 10 points last night. I think it's 9 points tomorrow. But I don't know what the point spread was in the first game, but
It was over
uh,
10. I think it was 10. I think it was exactly 10.
I think they were only like 6-12 or something against teams with a 10 point advantage in the spread, and that they play down to their competition. They're
This
basically the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA.
Now this is crazy to me, Foos, because I mean, if you look back to the All-Star game, I think we're like 15-6. But if you go further back to when, I guess maybe even before that, at the turn of the year, they were like 45 and 17. We're
Yeah,
great on the road. I think we deserve way more credit Like, I understand Embiid's not playing, but you just saw what happened. Harden's a veteran. He just went off. Like, Maxey catching errant passes. Now, I know that pass wasn't absolutely an errant pass. Like, he didn't steal it. I mean, it kind of got
He was
thrown
in
to
the
him.
he was in the right place at the right
Right
time.
place,
I've
right.
heard
And then they were talking about a shot clock violation.
right.
Like, come on, let them play for God's
Yeah,
sakes. I don't want to
I'm
hear any
I'm
fouls.
I'm glad that they let them play because Ernie
Thank you.
Johnson on Inside the NBA was talking about it that because it happened simultaneously when Maxey caught the ball and the shot clock expired, that they
Right.
allowed the play to keep going. If the ball
Yeah.
would have still been in the air and the buzzer went off, they would have whistled the play dead, even if you would have had a breakaway like that. But it happened so simultaneously that they let it play on. And I'll tell you what, it would have been a fucking uproar if they would have called a shot clock violation on that.
Yeah, it would have been bad. I don't know if it would have cost us the game, but it could have went to overtime.
Well, Foods, you got to remember, we were down by one at that point.
Right. That's
We
very
were
true.
trailing. We were trailing at that point. So, worst case scenario, we get the ball back there. If we don't score, the game's probably over.
Yeah, I think
Honestly,
if the only, like I said, the worst part is maybe we can get a turnover at that point again, the next
yeah,
possession,
yeah.
maybe, but it turned out that we didn't need
It turned out that we did not get screwed by the refs last night. So,
it.
I can't call it a makeup call for what happened in the Super Bowl, but we did get one going our way though. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Speaking
that's
of
good.
foods, I don't know. Did you? I was telling you earlier. I did listen to Howie on 94.1, and he was all behind the Sixers, boy. He said,
Yeah.
"Let's get a ring." That's what he said.
Oh man, that's great. It's huge. I don't know what's going to happen in the Western Conference. I kind of have a feeling it's going to be Golden State and Denver. Denver's looking really good. They're up 2-0, and
They play
yeah,
the Suns, right?
yeah,
Phoenix,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
they're smoking the Sun so far. So I think it's going to be Denver, and as bad as they were on the road in the regular season, they got their shit together. They're always going to be a championship team, the Warriors, and I think the Warriors. I'll tell you what, I would love to see the Sixers and the Nuggets in the finals. Jokic and Embiid, the last, three MVPs. I'm sick of seeing Steph Curry's face and Klay Thompson in the finals. So I'd like to see the Sixers and the Nuggets and have a great series and have a parade down Broad Street, Foods.
That'd be unbelievable. Let me tell you, Foods, if that were the case, if they did end up playing each other, I might get on a plane and go hang out over with Ryan. And we got a buddy over
Yeah.
living in Colorado right now.
Shout
So if
out
it
to
ends up
Gooner.
being a final, yeah, I might do it.
That would be intense for sure. But yeah, man, we got to take it one day at a time. What's your gut tell you? Is Embiid going to play tomorrow night, or is he going to sit again?
I honestly think he might play tomorrow.
You think the MVP
I,
award is enough to be like, you know what, I'm getting out there?
I would like to see it. I honestly, even if he could steal 30 minutes, Foods, 32 minutes, I think if he could do that, they can gives him the best chance to win game two. And if they could do that, man, they got two. I'm not going to say they can sweep this one because that would just be ridiculous. But I could see it if they, maybe game six,
Yeah.
5 or 6. It's very possible.
So I'm
Especially
looking.
if they came back here for 6 and it was 3-2 in our favor, and boom, we had it.
So I'm looking at the schedule for this round, and it's
Okay.
odd. I mean, we talked about this. There's definitely. It seems like there's usually some games that there's 2 days in between. It's an every
Right.
other day schedule for all 7 games of this series. So
And knowing that, I think they need to get Embiid involved as soon as possible. I
yeah.
can probably see him one more game being out, but after tomorrow night, he's probably going to play.
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect him to have a big game his first time back because
Right.
conditioning I think is going to be the biggest issue. Not running up and down the court for a few weeks. He's going to be winded. Conditioning I think might be an issue. So that's why I like to see him maybe give it a go tomorrow night. Maybe get him off the
Yeah.
bench. Bring him in for maybe like 15, 20 minutes.
First
Get him some
quarter,
time.
first half. Yeah.
Yeah, get the Kundalini rising and That way, by the time game 3 comes around, he's already, starting to get back in basketball shape. Because I'll tell you what, there will be a lot of pressure on them if they lose tomorrow night, and then they expect him back for game 3 to have a big performance to win it, so they don't go down 2-1.
Right. I wouldn't be too big, especially if they come back here. Like obviously, for game 3 and 4 and all that. But it's with the Heat playing who they playing, the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, the path has not been ever more clear if we could just get
Right.
over this hump.
If we can get over this hump, that's what we were hoping. But we got the number 1 seed in the probably in the whole league, out in the first round, and it's shaping up for us. This is our Eastern Conference Finals, I think, right here.
Yeah, 4th and 26. Let's hear it. Below. We want to hear exactly what you feel and what you think, because I have a good feeling about this. Certainly this series, and hopefully for the rest of this season.
Awesome, guys. We'll be back tomorrow night. Maybe do a little recap after the game and talk about it, and leave some comments in the section what you think for tomorrow night, and more importantly, also how you feel about Embiid. Wrapping up this MVP, and if it's going to give them the boost that they need to finally slay the Boston Celtics. We'll be back with another one shortly, guys, and hopefully we'll be talking about a game 2 win. Beef, another great one with you. I'll talk with you again shortly, buddy.
Right back at you, brother. Congratulations, Joel.
All right, Joel. Congratulations, buddy.